So you guys heard that,
Chris,
that Trump turned himself in on his indictment, right? The most recent indictment. Let's put that.
Most recent of 37 counts.
37 counts.
37 counts.
Yeah.
So
how do you like that headline on Apple News? Trump surrendered. And I was like, oh
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. He did a campaign. He did a campaign stop before he went to the courthouse. Then he went and got indicted. And then he
did another one.
Then he flew back to New Jersey and did a fundraiser.
Yeah.
Sounds to me like he's just doing campaigning everywhere, including the courtroom.
He's going to be. You can count on that. And have you guys ever heard of the Clinton sock drawer case?
Yes.
You ever heard of that one?
No.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Bill Clinton was charged with the exact same thing Trump is charged with right now, taking documents out of the White House and keeping them. The results of that case, the judge in the case at the end of it said, a sitting president can declassify any document they wish, and by their mere possession of it, that deems it's declassified. Congress has no oversight, and the courts have no oversight over what the president can take when he leaves the White House. Nobody does. So that was the results of the case when Clinton was tried. Let's see how they reframe that verbiage for Trump, because his lawyers are going to bring that up. But
and only the chief executive has that right.
yes.
So the question is, how did Hillary Clinton, the State Department head, do the same thing with the emails and destroy evidence? And how did then Senator and then Vice President Biden, how were they allowed to take classified documents to their house and not be charged? That's breaking the law. That there is no get out of jail free card for somebody to bring that kind of stuff out of the skiff.
No, there's not. But you got to understand that the Democrats have loaded the field on their behalf. So they own the DOJ. Yeah. So if the DOJ is not willing to prosecute somebody, it's not going to happen. But I always say the Democrats are short-sighted. They're doing this weaponization thing of the DOJ right now and going after Trump, forgetting, or maybe they know something I don't, but that someday it could be another Republican president who will then turn all this crap over and might go after those folks. I think that's why they're terrified of Trump this time, because he was a nice guy last time. He didn't go after Hillary. He didn't do none of that. But I think this time the gloves will come off and he'll go after everybody who screwed with him. This time, I think he should.
Shame on him. Shame on him for
if
not.
If he could have gone after Hillary Clinton, I think he would have. My guess, not.
No, they had her dead to rights, man. Destroying that hard drive, that was illegal. Illegal.
Yep.
And she did it anyway.
What I'm saying is, when Trump was campaigning for the first Trump election that he actually won, and his answer to Hillary during the whole debate thing was, I'll put you behind bars where you belong, blah blah blah. He didn't really do anything, and that from 99.99% of politicians is just to be expected. My guess is that somehow he got stonewalled while he was in office from doing it, which means I don't think he would do it again. I
don't know. I think this time's different. As much as they've screwed with him, as many times as they've filed charges against him and hold him in the courts and stuff, everybody's got a limit, and that's probably approaching his rather rapidly.
And I would
be
think
mine.
So. Yeah, way past.
Well, Trump's going to ask for that if he gets back in as the chief executive. He's going to ask for that. My question is, after doing 30 years in the military, I'm sorry, I think the establishment, and I'm speaking for the DOD side of the house, I think the establishment is so ingrained in their system, and they don't want to turn over the apple cart. That my question is, who is going to be the next attorney general? Who's going to take over the DOJ, and who's going to clean it out? Who's going to clean up the FBI? Where do we have somebody? I mean, Trump's a primary candidate, but who's going to be on Trump's team to clean this mess up? That's where I have my skepticism.
Well, that's the real question, because he'll have to have an AG that's willing to play ball and go after these folks, because their crimes are clearly documented. None of this stuff is conspiracy. Back in the day when it was happening, it was, you're a conspiracy nut, conspiracy nut, conspiracy nut. Oh, except it's all true. There's that part too. So it all did turn out to be true. All the stuff she was
Well,
doing.
and
then she laughs about it. Like just recently, Hillary put a tweet out to sell But Her Emails hats. She has a hat that you can buy that say But Her Emails. But she's still laughing about it because she got away with it.
Yeah.
She knows right now nothing's going to touch her.
Well, she's mocking the system. She's mocking the system. Just like, isn't it the timing of Trump's indictment? It shouldn't be surprised. It still surprised me, but it shouldn't have been a surprise. Wasn't it just the day before that Senator Grassley came out and said, "Hey, there's a whistleblower in Ukraine that has these tapes, and 2 of them have the current sitting president basically accepting a bribe." Yep. And they have 14 tapes of his son basically accepting bribes. Then the next day, Trump comes out with an indictment, and they're saying, "Oh well, the current administration doesn't have anything to do. They're not having anything to do with the DOJ. They're not pushing the DOJ to do this." The timing stinks. The timing absolutely stinks.
Yeah. Plus, there was the FBI whistleblower too with the same thing. There was a document in FBI's possession that alluded to Biden taking bribes as well. And the DOJ or the FBI came out and said they announced that they had this whistleblower and they were providing this information, but they were afraid to name the whistleblower because they feared for the whistleblower's life. They figured if they named him, he would be killed. And if that doesn't tell you everything you need to know about our current situation in our country, I don't know what the hell will. That the FBI has a whistleblower who's willing to spill dirt on the president, but they're afraid he'll get killed if he comes out, and they don't want to release his name. Well, the only person that could possibly want him dead would be the president, right? Or people affiliated. So that should tell you everything you want to know. I mean, that should tell you everything you need to know about the state of America at the moment.
Well, kind of.
Chris, here's a question I have for you.
Fire away, man.
The $10 billion question for everybody, right? And this is what Rawson and I and Sue and I have had, God knows how many dozens of hours discussing. So we always bring it back to what do we do to fix it? And I keep saying that the question that most bothers me out of anything in the world is, well, someone should do something. So, what can somebody do? No. What can we do? Right.
Sadly, I don't know about you guys. Yeah. It is and it ain't. So as recent elections have shown, they can be manipulated and they are being manipulated. And that's why I said earlier that there may be a Republican president someday, because they may have the system game to the point now that there may never be another one. And they may already know that, going in. But I don't think we can vote our way out of this. I don't think that's the possibility at this point. It's like the farther we go in this whole shit show that the country is right now, it seems like the faster we're getting. And we're going to hit something eventually is how I see it. I personally, I don't know what the hell we could do. Write your senators, call your congressmen. They don't give a shit. I
think we're doing the word.
I hate the word career politician. All right. Career politician should be as offensive as the word pedophile, which they're trying to make not offensive right now. But career politician should be just as vulgar as pedophile, in my opinion. Because those people go there to stay in D.C. to enrich themselves and their buddies, and they don't give a shit about the people. What were you saying, T? Sorry, I interrupted you.
Oh, nothing. No, at the end of the day, it's just so blatant to me. Everything is the most blatant ridiculousness that we've got going on here in the world. I mean, it's just in your face. I think we're doing what we can do. This right here, this is what makes a difference, I believe.
And that's why I was saying we can't vote our way out. And I'll say this, and I don't want my words to be misconstrued, so I'm going to say it very carefully. The politicians of this country have zero fear of the American people. And now by fear, I don't mean they need to be afraid for their lives. That's not what I'm saying. But they should have some fear of the people in like losing their job,
accountability,
or understanding that accountability,
zero.
And there's zero. They have none. They have zero accountability. Anybody who wants power should never have power, ever. I've learned that in my life, that anybody who ever wanted to be in management or wanted to be in supervision, or wanted something like that, should never be the guy that is, because they're going to be a tyrant usually, be some asshole.
Absolutely.
500 and some odd of them, and well, more than that, all of them, but 600 odd of them up in DC.